Hey guys, so today I am very, very excited because I am sharing with you my birthday month, July book haul. Most of these books were gifts, either from y'all out there on BookTube land or like people that I know, in real life, people who sent me gift cards, like my work sent me like a gift card for my birthday. My husband took me to the bookstore. Like, there were just lots of books to be purchased in the month of July. And I'm just so grateful for everybody who sent me a book, who told me happy birthday, who just acknowledged me in any way. Like, just thank you so much. Like, it means so much to me. I feel like as we get older, like I'm 32 now. I have 2 kids. Like, as we get older, we don't tend to think of our own birthdays much, right? Like, I have kids, like their stuff's more important, or like, I'm like, whatever, like it's just a day, like. But when people actually reach out to you and like want to like celebrate you or tell you, just tell you happy birthday and like that they're thinking of you, like it really means so much, because for quite some time I hated my birthday. Absolutely hated it because I felt like it's in a very inopportune time, because my birthday is the 3rd of July, so it's like the 4th is the next day, and I always felt like my birthday didn't matter. Like, I always got forgotten. Like, it was just a whole thing when I was younger. Like, not younger, but like mid-20s, like a baby. And it was like a whole thing. But like, as I've gotten older, I have really started to appreciate my birthday even more, because you never know which birthday is going to be your last birthday. So we celebrate. We go hard now. And I just want to thank everybody who sent me anything, told me happy birthday. Like, it really means a lot. And now, since I'm rambling so much, we're going to dive in, because this is a big one. So grab a snack, sit back, grab you some coffee, just hang out, and we're going to go through all these books. I'm going to start with my book box books. So I have Illumicrate, Owlcrate, Fairy Loot, and I ended up ordering an extra Owlcrate because of a book release that I pre-ordered. And then like 2 Fairy Loots came in, so like stuff's behind. But I did like a massive unboxing that'll probably be up before this, so you can watch that. But I want to show you in this haul just like the books that I got from those. First, we have Fire with Fire, which I had never heard of. This is like a Sisters Dragons kind of magic book. I had never heard of this until I got it in a Fairy Loot box. So I still don't really know too much about it, other than we got sisters and dragons. And I'm just not going to know anything about this one. We're just going to go in blind, so it's fine. Then I got Sisters of the Snake. This one was, I think this was an Owlcrate. I think this is the Owlcrate box. And again, I don't know too terribly much about this one. All I really know is it's like sisters separated at birth. It's very Parent Trappy, right? Like, one's rich, one's poor. Like, it's very Parent Trap-esque. I also got a copy of the Jasmine Throne. This was a Illumicrate box. And look at those. They're so pretty. I loved this book. I talked about this book in a recent video where I talked about like new favorite characters. And one of the side characters in this book is like a pregnant badass. And she's like one of my absolute favorite characters. Like, and it was hard to pick just one, because like I loved all the characters in this book. But this is definitely a really fun Indian-inspired fantasy world. And it does have a sapphic romance, but it is not like romance heavy. So I really liked that. I also got Witches Steeped in Gold, and this is the Fairy Loot edition. Yeah, it's Fairy Loot. It's beautiful. So I think I'm actually going to unhaul my Owlcrate edition, because this is so much prettier, and just like pass that along to probably like my niece because of this. This is stunning, and I'm really excited to read this one. My last like book box book is this one right here that I'm so excited to read, Wings of Shadow by Nikki Paparetto. This is the 3rd and final book in the Crown of Feathers trilogy. This just released. I'm so excited. Look at the purple edges. They didn't really go all out. Like, it's signed, but it isn't like pretty underneath or anything. But I'm so excited. I loved the first 2 books in this series, so I'm really excited to see how it winds up. We're following Veronica, who wants to be like a Phoenix rider, and she has to pretend to be a boy in the first book so she can be a Phoenix rider, and then there's a love story, and it's just so good. It's just such a good series. It's a fun series, and I'm excited to read the last one. Then my friend Sam, for my birthday, sent me a Spin the Dawn, and I'm really excited to get to this. This has been on my list forever, and I just have never gotten around to picking it up. This is supposed to be like Mulan meets Project Runway in a fantasy setting, and I'm here for it. Like, I'm totally down for that. I recently read 6 Crimson Cranes by the same author. Absolutely loved it. So I'm excited to get to this one because I'm pretty sure like they're both set in the same world, just different places. So I'm excited. Another gift that I got, this one from my friend Josephine, is Andy Weir's Project Hail Mary. I'm really excited to get to this. I have never read The Martian. I've never seen the movie. So when this came out, I just had people keep telling me that I had to read it, I had to read it, I had to read it. And I actually have a friend who doesn't read like anything. Like, they're not like a big reader. Tell me that I needed to read this book. So like, of course I put it on my list, and I'm really, really excited. All I know is it's like sci-fi. I have no idea what it's about. I'm trying to go in blind for a lot of my books recently, but I know everybody loves this, so I'm excited to get to it. One that I picked up for myself when I went to Barnes & Noble the other day was this giant Grimm's fairy tale collection. It was $8, so I was like, I'll get it. But it's got like a lot of the like original Grimm's fairy tales. So Little Red Riding Hood, Sleeping Beauty, Snow White, Cinderella, Hansel and Gretel, Rapunzel, Rumpelstiltskin, Tom Thumb, the Frog Prince, and many more is what it says on the back. And they had it kind of like up near the front with like their really pretty leather bound editions. And I wanted to get some more leather bound editions, but they didn't really have any that like spoke to me. So I picked this one up instead. Another gift, this one was from my friend Katrina, and that is a Phoenix Extravagant. How do I say that? Extravagant. I'm excited for this. Angela over at Literature Science Alliance has like sung the praises of this book, and that's what made me put it like on my like wish list, was because she spoke so highly of it, and I'm like, I need to know what this is about. I don't even know what it's about. Angela spoke highly of it, so I put it on my list. Like, that was literally it. She and I have such similar reading tastes that like I'm pretty sure if she loves something, I am also going to really enjoy it. We only differ on a few things, so I'm like, yep, we're taking that recommendation. So thank you so much, Katrina, for sending me this. All right, next I have a gift from my really good friend, my sister, Kate. She's at the Literary Apothecary. I'll link her. I'll link everybody who has like channels or Instagrams or anything like that below so you can check them out because they're all fantastic. She sent me the book of The Unnamed Midwife, which is one I've been dying to get to. Like, no one talks about this, and I just like happened to hear about it at some point and like threw it on my list. But it's like a post-apocalyptic world, and we're following a midwife. That to me sounds fantastic. And it's surviving the apocalypse is only the beginning. In the wake of a fever that decimated the Earth's population, killing women and children and making childbirth deadly for the mother and infant, the midwife must pick her way through the bones of the world she once knew to find her place in this dangerous new one. Gone are the pillars of civilization. All that remains is power and the strong that possess it. A few women like her survived, though they are scarce. Even fewer are safe from the clans of men who, driven by fear, seek to control those remaining. To preserve her freedom, she dons men's clothing, goes by false names, and avoids as many people as possible. But as the world continues to grapple with its terrible circumstances, she'll discover a role greater than chasing a pale imitation of independence. After all, if humanity is to be reborn, someone must be its guide. That sounds so good. Like, I'm just hyped for it. And then she also sent me a volume 2 in the Shades of Magic graphic novel series. This is a prequel series to darker shade of magic, but I don't recommend reading this until after you've read the original Shades of Magic trilogy. I loved the first one. The art is so cool. We're actually following King Maxim, who is the father of the boys in the Shades of Magic series. So, highly recommend this. And thank you so much, Kate. I love you. Thank you. Next, I have The Firekeeper's Daughter. This was a gift from my friend Charmaine, so thank you so much, Charmaine. I have heard nothing but good things about this. And plus, look at that cover. It's beautiful, right? Like, this cover is stunning. And the only thing I don't like is this Reese's Book Club sticker, which I'm like, why do they do that? Why do people in publishing continue to put these book stickers that aren't stickers, like this is just part of the dust jacket, on books? I don't understand it. Why do they have to do that? Either way, I'm very excited to read this. It just sounds so good. Like, prayers begin with offering Sima and sharing my spirit name, clan, and where I'm from. I always add an extra name to make sure the creator knows who I am. A name that connects me to my father, because I began as a secret and then a scandal. Don't 100% know what this is, but y'all, I've heard great things. So one of my best friend's birthdays is also in July. So I bought her a book, but then like I kind of wanted it for myself. So I bought the same one for me. And that is this really pretty Barnes & Noble edition of Alice in Wonderland. My best friend, she loves Alice in Wonderland. Alice in Wonderland, Peter Pan, like she loves it. And she's a big reader too. She's the one I talk about that has like the gorgeous library that I'm like, can I just come live there? I don't think she watches my videos, but if you do, hey Katie. But look how beautiful the art is. And it's just like one of their children's classics. So they have a bigger edition that I couldn't find. So I got these ones, but they're so pretty. And it's got like the Cheshire Cat on the back. It's just pretty. I got it to add to my classics collection to read with the kids. Like, so pretty. Ugh. Another one I picked up kind of for myself, but I did it because I had gift cards that were like gifted to me. I ended up biting the bullet and I got this massive edition of Saga. Like, this is all 9, I believe. This is all of them. All the sagas. It is so heavy. But I'm really excited to have everything in one place so I can read the entire thing so far. And I'm pretty sure that they are coming off hiatus to make the next volume of Saga, which is kind of why I had been putting it off. I loved volume 1. And then I kept putting it off because I was like, they're like, I know that the last one, like everyone says like it ended like on a cliffhanger, but then there was like no news of them coming back to finish the series. So hopefully my information that I heard is correct and they're going to finish it. But y'all, this is big. I loved it. We're following these, we're actually narrated by the daughter of these 2 people from 2 different planets who are on a war with each other. And they like fall in love and have the baby. So I love it. It's so good. And this is massive. And the art is really, really pretty. But don't read it in public and don't read it around your kids. Because it might be a graphic novel, but graphic is the key word. It's not kid friendly. I made that mistake. I read it, granted on my Kindle, but I was like reading it like in gymnastics practice and there's like moms sitting behind me and I'm like, I already don't fit in with these moms. So like, there's a problem. And then I got a gift from Alan at the Library of Alexandria and his lovely wife, Christina. And that is the Buffy comic. Y'all, I am so excited. Like when I got this, I was so excited. I love graphic novels lately. Like, I don't know why. They've just been my thing. I love them. And I really want to read this. I loved Buffy the Vampire Slayer, like, my whole life. I've loved Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I named my daughter after a character in the show. So, like, it's a thing. I loved it. I remember when I worked at the bar, I would come home from bartending and like on like TNT, you know, they would show like reruns of like Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Angel at like 4 and 5 in the morning. And I'd just stay up and watch them because I didn't get off work till like 3 a.m. because I was a bartender. And like it rekindled my love for those shows. And like when I found out they had graphic novels, they also have like a Willow spinoff and like an Angel spinoff, and I think they have a Spike one. I need them all. Like they're coming in my collection. And the art's really pretty. Really good art. It kind of looks like the actors, but I'm pretty sure this is like Buffy, but more modern. Like same characters, but if it were set in modern day. I can't. I'm so excited. It's volume 1 and I'm just, I need it. I needed this in my life. So thank you so much, Alan and Christina. Another graphic novel. This is one that I got myself when my husband took me book shopping. And that is the graphic novelization of The Giver by Lois Lowry. I can never say it right. Lois Lowry. It's so cool because if you've read The Giver, the way it's illustrated makes so much sense. It's illustrated in a way where we start out in black and white and like end in full color. Like we get color as we go along in this story. And I loved it. I loved The Giver. And I'm just really excited to have the novelization, like the graphic novelization, because I think it looks just super well done and it's just really cool how they did it. And it's like got colored frames and black and white frames. So if you've read it, you know why it's done that way. And if not, then you need to read it and figure out why it's done that way because it's so freaking cool. I had to like step away for a little bit to feed the tiny humans that live in my house. So now I'm back to finish the second half of this book haul because I think we're about halfway through. There's a lot. A lot. July was a shopping month, you know? It was my birthday month. So if the angle looks a little different, like stuff moved. So, sorry. I also got the Bone season. This is from my good friend Abby Salter, of course, linking her below. Her birthday is also July. So go check her out and leave her some love. But I'm so excited. She also reminded me in this note that we have been friends for going on a year now. Like this time last year is when we like started our little friend group and like started like really meeting people in BookTube. And it's funny because like the note that I sent her had mentioned like we'd been friends for a year. Like I just love her. Like I've made some really amazing friends here on BookTube. And like that was the whole reason I did it, right? Like that was the reason we started our channels, right? To like make friends to talk about books with. So thank you, Abby. I'm so excited to get to this. Another fantastic friend that I've made is Sharon. I will link her channel. She doesn't upload as much as she should, but she needs to upload more. And she's just like the literal sweetest. She sent me all 3 Ember in the Ashes books. So I already had the first one. So she sent me 2, 3, and 4 so I can read the series and like finish it off because I absolutely loved it. So thank you so much. I'm so excited to get to these. I'm actually starting the second book tonight. So I'm really, really excited. Like I had it like over here. So this looks going over there on my pile, my possibility pile that's like starting tonight. But then the other 2 books, like they're so pretty. I kind of wish they wouldn't have changed the covers. Like I have, because I got mine used, I have like the OG like old school like first cover that they came out with for Ember in the Ashes, and it's like I have a library edition, so it's got like the plastic over it. I bought it from Thrift Books. I buy so many of my used books from Thrift Books or my local used bookstore, but Thrift Books, y'all, don't sleep on it. Always check Thrift Books when you're shopping because I love you. If you don't mind used books, like me, I don't care. And like, okay, I have Mismatched collection and okay, whatever, don't bother me. But I'm so excited because I loved the first book. So I'm about to start the rest of it. And speaking of used books, I took a trip to my local used bookstore. I took my unhaul box there. Because I don't know if you saw a while back, I did a big unhaul and I finally like got to take everything to the used bookstore. So I had quite a bit of like used bookstore credit that I still have like a lot of credit there because I just keep taking my used stuff. So I picked up a few things. You know, I couldn't go and like not pick up things and just drop things off. So I picked up, which one? I don't know which one is 2 and 3. Red Seas Under Red Skies and Republic of Thieves, both by Scott Lynch. Both books like 2 and 3 in the Gentleman Bastard series. And no, I have not read the first one. I have not read Lies of Locke Lamora. I actually unhauled Lies of Locke Lamora because I had it in a mass market paperback. But the reason I picked these up was because I saw this edition, right? And I thought it was so pretty. Like, I couldn't, this edition had to come home with me, right? Because I was like, ooh, it's so pretty. Like, I think this is 3. Republic of Thieves. Yeah, okay, so Republic of Thieves is book 3. I thought it was really pretty and I wanted it. And then they had the second book in hardback sitting right next to it. So I picked that one up too, but they didn't have Lies of Locke Lamora. So I just got these 2 and hopefully I'll grab Lies of Locke Lamora at some point soon because I want to actually read it. Also at the used bookstore, I picked up the entire Hunger Games trilogy. We've got The Hunger Games, Catching Fire, and Mockingjay, which I read forever ago, but I read them on my old Barnes & Noble Nook, which I haven't had in forever. And of course, since I read them on that, like, I don't have that anymore. Like, I can't read them anymore. So I needed physical copies, and I saw them. I was like, I'm getting these. Like, they were so cheap. Like, it's a used bookstore. Like, everything's pretty inexpensive. And they're in pretty good condition. I really want, what is it? There's these really pretty editions of the Hunger Games that I wanted. And I looked into buying. There's like 2. There's the, like, special edition, like the 10th anniversary edition, I think. But then there's the ones in their bright colors. And I could not find them, like, in my price range. But they're, like, I think they're the propaganda editions, but they're, like, these bright, like, pink and pretty colors. If I can, I'll put insert pictures of, like, the ones I'm talking about. Man, I want those. But I wanted to reread them because I see a lot of people have been rereading them lately. And I'm like, you know what? I need to do that as well. So, yeah. I actually read the prequel when it came out, and unpopular opinion, I freaking liked it. I liked A Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. Was it fantastic? No. Did I have a great time? Freaking yes. I loved it. So, there's that. But I want to reread these. I've just been rambling. I'm just going to ramble forever. I'm not even close to done. So much stuff. Actually, we're close. Also, at the used bookstore, I picked up these 2 books. They're both from the same series. They're Serafina books. So, a while back, I hauled the 4th book because I accidentally ordered book 4 on Amazon because it was like part of a sale and I thought it was the first book and it wasn't. This is the first book. Serafina and the Black Cloak. This is like a middle grade series, but it's set at the Biltmore Estate. And if you didn't know, I used to live in Asheville, and I've been to the Biltmore Estate many, many times. Like, I love the Biltmore Estate. So I picked these up because they were at the used bookstore. And this is the first book. It's in really good condition, too. And then this is, I think this one's the second book, but I'm not 100% sure. They were at the used bookstore, and I got all the ones they had. But yeah, I'm really, really excited because I've been loving middle grade lately. It's also something I can pass down to my kids, so... And it's set in a place that I know. So, yay. Yay for North Carolina. Not a book, but the last thing that I bought, like, for myself is we went to Best Buy on my birthday. Just, like, you know, walking around. We went to the furniture store and bought the chair. We, you know, had lunch, and then we walked around, and then we went, you know, to a couple stores, and then we went to dinner, like, the whole thing. I ate too much. I shopped too much. It was a good time. I wanted to, like, look around at the like, gaming stuff in the games. I typically only play Final Fantasy games. Like, I don't game a whole lot, but I want to expand myself outside of the Final Fantasy universe. Of course, I really was looking for a PS5. there ain't none anywhere. I'm still salty about that. I did end up picking up The Witcher 3 though, which I've never played, and I'm really excited because I want to play it. Out of everything Witcher, this is what excites me most. Like, of course I want to watch the show because Henry Cavill, like, that man is like king of the nerds, and I love him to death. Like, it's Henry freaking Cavill. But I really want to play the game. And I'm pretty sure I don't have to have played the other ones to, like, understand this. I also have the first book in the series back there somewhere, but I'm really excited. I want to play it. This is The Witcher 3, The Wild Hunt. We're going in super blind. I know, like, a tiny bit about, like, the Witcher lore. I know Henry Cavill. And that's about it. So, I know some of my friends will be really excited to see that I'm gonna get into this. Another book. This is from my friend Chelsea at Chelsea Zhao, and it is Gideon the Ninth. And y'all, I'm so excited. I've been wanting to read this for a while. Again, like, this is just one of those that's, like, been on my list, and I keep passing it over because I'm not sure what I'm gonna think about it. But then everyone tells me to read it, and, like, all I know is the tagline that, like, everybody says, where it's like lesbian necromancers in space. And I was like, okay, that sounds great. And I think it's Bethany, a beautifully bookish Bethany, who talked so highly about Harrow the Ninth, which is the second book, that it just made me really want to go ahead and read the first book. So thank you so much, Chelsea. I'm excited to get to this one. I also got Kingdom of Back. This is by Marie Lu, and this was gifted to me by my friend Joanna. So thank you again so much for your generosity. Like, just the fact that anybody thought to send me a birthday present is, like, mind-blowing for me, right? I don't, it's just mind-blowing. So, like, I don't think you realize how much I appreciate everybody, and just, it's a crazy thing for me. But I'm so excited to get to this. I know Elliot Brooks read this recently, or, like, last year, I think. I don't know. Time means nothing. But Elliot read it, and she really liked it. And my taste tends to go along with hers quite a bit. So I'm really excited. And it's a standalone. It's very focused on, like, music. And I'm pretty sure Alan's wife, Christina, read this and really liked it. And she did a book review for it, if I'm not mistaken. It was, like, her one book review on Alan's channel. And I was real excited. I thought we'd get more Christina videos, and we haven't yet. So we need those. But I'm really excited to read this. It's about, like, Mozart and his sister and, like, the world that they created. So it's like a historical fiction fantasy. And then a gift from my girl Jessie May, and that is Shadow of the Gods. And I read the arc of this and loved it. So I'm so happy to have a physical copy of it. Like, I want to reread it when the second book comes out. Like, I want to reread it, like, I just, all the time. Like, I loved it. I loved this book, which is hysterical because I did not like Malice. I barely made it through Malice. I DNF'd it and then came back to it months later. And, like, I don't think I'm going to continue on with Faithful and the Fallen, but this series, The Bloodsworn, John Gwynn's new series, like, where did this come from? I love this. So it's so funny that I can, like, love one. And it's like, not like I hated Faithful and the Fallen. It was okay. I gave it 3 stars. I'm just like, I don't think I'll reread it. But this was so good. And then I also got one of my most anticipated releases that I haven't heard anybody talk about. And this is from my friend Laura at the Book Circus. And that is Bacchanal. I have no idea if I'm saying that right. Bacchanal. Bacchanal. We don't know how we're saying this, but this is another, like, historical fiction fantasy, and it is set around a circus in the South, and I think it's, like, during the 1900s, maybe? I know it's, like, old-timey South. Yeah, Depression-era South. It says, evil lives in a traveling carnival roaming Depression-era South. But the carnival's newest act, a peculiar young woman with latent magical powers, may hold the key to defeating it. Her time has come. I have been super into, like, circus carnival stuff lately. If you don't know, like, I loved the Night Circus, and then I recently read Girl Made of Air, which is another like circusy book. Absolutely loved that. So this is perfect. I'm so excited to get to it. And last, but definitely not least, my gift from the mistress of murder herself, Leslie over at the Nerdy Narrative. I was gifted Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom in this like really cool box set. And Leslie, I'm very excited to get to these. Because I've been saying forever that I'm going to read these. And while I did not love the original Shadow and Bone, everyone tells me I need to read these. And I think it's Leanne at Leanne's library is like, just read them. Just read them. Just read them. You're going to like them. Just read them. Just read them. So I'm like, okay, shut up. I'm going to read them. So now I am going to finally see what the hype is all about. What is the Kaz Brecker and what is this all about? So I'm very excited. And these, they're pretty for one. They have the sticker on them, but whatever. The Netflix sticker, but well, that's to be expected. But y'all, I'm excited. All right, so that was my absolutely insanely massive July birthday book haul. Once again, thank you to everybody who sent me anything, who told me happy birthday, just all of you. Thank you all for being here and just for thinking of me and spending time and enjoying talking about books with me. It really means so much, and I really hope that you really know how much you mean to me. All right, well, my name is Jessie. Thank you for hanging out with me, and I will talk to you guys next time. Bye.